How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Clayton Showalter's YouTube channel here. We're back on this engine here for this riding tractor here. Briggs and Stratton, a Post twin cylinder 18 horse. We'll bring you in close here. We've got the, well, let's just show you. Got our surfaces cleaned up to where our cylinder head's gonna mount. Here's where the intake manifold's gonna go. Exhaust cleaned up, surfaces are all cleaned up. Where the valve cover caps go into place there, the valve covers. Well, here's the valves. These covers cover the springs on these Post twins. And here's the cylinders, or cylinder heads. That's as good as I can get cleaned up down in there. It's not a polish like a mirror. I didn't have quite a bit of stuff to, didn't have the right stuff to do that, but I got it smoothed out as best I could. So I would really like to polish it, but I just don't have that, and that's okay. It's just going to be a stock engine. And to get this surfaces, flat, find a flat surface if you can. And this is just a piece of plexiglass. It's the flattest surface that I have it for my availability. I don't recommend your plywood tabletop. If you got a piece of flat metal or a piece of glass that's big enough, an actual piece of glass that's more flat, but just take your cylinder head there, drop it on the sandpaper. This is 220 grit, and just go back and forth like that, even pressure, with this down on there. Of course, I'm not going to set it on there because I already cleaned this all up. You can rotate it, go this way, go like that, that way. We'll set that out of the way. And here's the intake here, and we're gonna make sure these surfaces here are flat. And I cleaned those up previously, and I'll show you what I used. This is just a little air die grinder. This is like a Scotch-Brite kind of pad. It's already worn down because I've been using it. But if you're gonna use that on this, just go evenly around. Don't try to bevel your edges or get cockeyed. Just go around. Don't stay in one place too long because you'll create a low spot. You'll get it out of level. So I just went a little bit just to take some of the rough stuff off quick. And you really don't even have to use one of these. That's just what I chose to use. But you can do your flat file, and make sure your file's flat. It's not doing none of this stuff here. And hold your intake as level as you can. And just, go across this way, and go that way. Get all your surfaces as best you can. That way you won't have any leaks or air leak, anything like that. Make your engine not run, make it run erratic and all that. All right, y'all hang on, we'll bring you back. All right, I thought I'd bring you back just for a quick little bit. Here's a part of the intake flange on the intake manifold. That's the one I've already filed all the way down. Well, not all the way down. What I mean is it's all nice and smooth around there. It's an even surface. You look at this one. It still needs some work. You can see, you know, where it's high and then where it's low. So you can watch me file on it for just a little bit here if you like that. And just keep your file flat. And just work it slow. You ain't got to get in no hurry. You get this surface flat here, this surface where the card mounts to, you'll be good to go. You want everything to seal up as best as you can get it, you know. You'll be able to see, this is the one that had some highs and lows on it. It's pretty close there now. We're going to do a little bit more on it. We'll bring you back. Well, we're back here. We're going to put these valve covers, or actually this would be the PCV valve, positive crankcase ventilation cover, that covers the valve springs on the valves. Got the gasket in place here with a little bit of a dielectric grease smeared around it there, because I have had just regular gaskets out of the box leak. No matter how much you tighten them, I've had them leak before. You could put them in some water to swell them up so they seal a little better, but eventually the water just evaporates. I'm sure the grease does go away over time, but I've had luck with the silicone grease around the gaskets and helps hold them in place there. Being a little tricky, a little booger on me. And make sure where that gasket's going around, make sure that's all cleaned up, then it'll seal properly. There we go. And on this Briggs and Stratton twin cylinder, this part is going to face towards up top. Get our screws in place here. And these are a 5/16 head on the screw. And just snug those up. They ain't gotta be outrageously tight. You can snap these off pretty easy, even with a little 1/4 inch drive ratchet. Just snug them down a little bit. They ain't gotta be crazy. Yeah, those are snugged up there. I'm just gonna take me a little paper towel and plug that so I don't be getting junk stuff in there. We're gonna go grab the intake, and we'll be putting that on here. All right, we're gonna drop our intake on. We've got the gaskets in place. Again, using a little bit of that dielectric grease. In case you missed, this is the kind I'm using right here. just to help aid in sealing those gaskets and to hold them on there. And these are the screws for your intake. They're about an inch long, give or take. Oh, see, I'm dropping them. And I believe that's a 1/4 inch thread. Oh, sorry, bumped you guys. Or 1/4 20 maybe. I'm not positive. That's what they are right there. It's 4 of them. Phillips head. Get this cinched down there. And that's just how the intake goes on. This faces towards the top. This is the top of the engine. And just tighten those evenly. And they all should seal up good because all the surfaces have been cleaned. I hope you all are doing good out there, and I hope you enjoy this video. Y'all let me know what you think out there. Please leave a comment. I'd like to read the comments. And when I'm going to tighten these down, I'll either go from this back one, the back one on here, to this side here, or I'll go from this one to the back one here, or this one to the back one there. And just bring it down evenly. And I'll come back and check these because this intake was out in the sun drying, and it's pretty hot. It's over 100 here in southern Arizona. I think it's close to 105. I know some of you all probably say, well, that's not hot. Come to my place, it's 115 winter. Well, that's too hot for me. When it gets to 95, when it gets to 90, 95, that's too hot for me. Alright, we're going to get ready and put these heads on here. Y'all hang on. Alright, we're going to put our cylinder heads on here. Got our head here, and if you see this slope here, it matches that slope or slant. And here's our head gasket here. And here's our head bolts for both sides. There's 9 head bolts on each side. And if you're wondering why these bolts are black in color or a dark gray, because they were kind of the color of the ratchet and the socket, but they had some corrosion in some spots, and most of you might say, well, why don't you just replace them? Well, they looked in pretty good shape other than a little bit of corrosion around the head and a little bit on the threads. Nothing terrible. I mean, you can look at them and see. I cleaned them up pretty decent there. And I just sprayed, coated them with this blaster graphite dry lubricant used for locks and stuff. So that's what I coated them, just to prevent any further corrosion. So let's go ahead and get a bolt in here. Oh, come on now. And just get them started. And these are 160 inch-pounds, I believe. I'll have to double check. And I think the conversion for that, if one of my last few videos, I know I was saying just tighten them down, and you can torque them if you want to. I didn't realize that you can convert the inch-pounds to down to the torque setting. So. Alright, we'll bring you, well, let me check to see if that's the, yeah, head bolts. Torque is 160 inch-pounds. I'm going to write down that it converts to 13 foot-pounds, I believe. And if somebody out there that knows that's not right, please let me know. So, alright, we'll bring you back. Alright, we're back here. We're gonna put this we're gonna put the right cylinder head on. Because the way this engine is sitting here, intake here, just turn it this way. So here's our cylinder head gasket there, brand new. We'll get a couple of bolts into place here. That one started. And I forgot to mention, down inside the cylinder, and I did it on the other one as well, before putting the heads on, I cleaned them out really good, as best as I can, with some carbon choke cleaner, and tipped the engine like that so the stuff would run out. And I kept doing that until I wasn't getting any stuff out of there that would be just stuck on the top edge of the ring and piston. And you remember how that all looked. Got all that carbon out of there. And then I went ahead and shot inside the cylinder and on top of the piston around the ring with some WD-40 in case this engine's going to sit for a while. Wiped it all in the cylinder, and I'm going to rotate it a few times so that WD-40 won't let the rings rust to the cylinder there, because that is a cast iron liner in these Briggs and Strattons here. And I'm just going to use my little impact and run these down. I'm not going to use the impact to tighten them up. So we'll get a few more bolts in here. And if you don't have one of those impacts, that's no worry. It'll just make the job go a little quicker and easier. I would definitely recommend getting one of those, the impact and a drill, if you're doing a lot of mechanical work, small engine. It makes it just handy. Makes things go a little bit smoother, if you know what I mean. And I think we all like things to go a little smoother out there, don't y'all? kind of go through these here. And you gotta, and just take each one of these bolts and bring them down evenly. So if you start here, go to that one, come to that one, onto that one, that one. Let's see where we're at. Okay, checking here, and we'll set the torque in these. And 13 pounds ain't much. 13 foot-pounds. We're just gonna try to do it evenly. Do it as good as you can, as even as possible. That one clicked. That one clicked. Yeah, I think we got them all there. I'm gonna double check. Just make sure and double check on that. It's nothing worse than having a head gasket leak on you. Yo, hang on. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. And I hope you enjoyed spending your time here and hanging out with me today. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you for watching this video, and thank you for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. And remember, let's all be kind to one another out there. Y'all take care.